Low report.
We'll have Donald Trump for another 4 years.
It took less than 5 minutes. Senator Elizabeth Warren threw the first punch.
A billionaire who calls women fat broads and horse-faced lesbians. And no, I'm not talking about Donald Trump. I'm talking about Mayor Bloomberg.
Billionaire Michael Bloomberg on defense all night, challenged to explain his stop and frisk policy that targeted people of color.
It got out of control.
It's not whether he apologized or not, it's the policy. The policy was abhorrent.
They urged him to release tax returns, Bloomberg says they're on the way, and change the tax code so the rich pay more.
Why are you complaining? Who wrote the code?
You did. You and your campaign.
99
you and your not me. You and your campaign contributions electing people who represent the wealthy and the powerful.
Warren went after Bloomberg on female employees who sued, alleging a hostile work environment.
Mr. Mayor, are you willing to release all of those women from those non-disclosure agreements so we can hear their side of the story?
They signed those agreements, and we'll live with it.
Pete Buttigieg went after Senator Amy Klobuchar for forgetting the name of Mexico's president.
Are you trying to say that I'm dumb, or are you mocking me here, Pete?
I'm saying that you shouldn't trivialize
I made an error. You have not been in the arena doing that work. You've memorized a bunch of talking points.
You don't have to be in Washington to matter.
They all want to be in Washington. Getting there is getting tough. Tracy Potts, NBC News, Washington.
The next Democratic presidential candidates debate will be held next Tuesday in Charleston, South Carolina. Coming up on Chris 6 News at noon, it is not enough to just brush your teeth daily. You've got to do it the right way. We'll explain what that means up next.
Now, your Chris 6 weather forecast with meteorologist Maglovia Perez.
Well, good noontime, everybody. We got the time lapse of our WeatherBug camera down in Kingsville, and every now and then you'll see a little raindrop. Let's see. Oh, there's one. There's two. Any more? 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 raindrops. Yay. That's about all we're going to get. So the rain has been very light, almost just kind of a heavy mist, but that will be leaving us as soon as tomorrow. In fact, we do have just today as this cloudy stuff, a live shot from Rockport, still overcast. It's still 50 degrees. Can you believe it? I mean, over the weekend we were 80. So, you know, you call that a cold front. The drizzles will continue through the day, but we've only had 2/100 of an inch of rain officially. So that's what we're going to be watching for. But it's that north wind that continues bringing in that cold air. And of course, when you bring in that moist air from the Pacific up on top of it, you get this overrunning pattern. We had just enough of a lift today to actually trigger all that activity. So generalized light rain to drizzle throughout much of South Texas for this afternoon. But the clearing line is right about here. Actually, the reason for the clearing is because the storm center is already out here. Therefore, the instability is going to be going away and will stabilize the atmosphere. And it'll dry up, and then we're going to be looking a lot better as we get on into the weekend. Right about now, let's take a zoom in on the amount of rain we've had. It's just been extremely light. Here's the city, here's Highway 37, and there's a little bit heavier rain up toward the Three Rivers and George West area. Looks like another band coming up into the city right about now, this one right here. So those of you on the south side, you're probably going to be first for that. But like I said, it'll be just for this afternoon. I don't expect anything heavy to accumulate, generally, a quarter of an inch of rain at the most. So let's take a look at the big picture to see what's going on. You remember yesterday we had that big tap of tropical moisture coming up? Well, that's thinned out, so that's why that system's over with. And the lifting mechanism to create all this rain is also pulling away. So we're going to be actually in fairly good shape as we get to the weekend. I don't know if you know, all my winter Texans know this. There hasn't been much of a winter in the Midwest. I mean, there was rain, but not cold. Until all of a sudden, late in the game, the Arctic air showed up right about here. You can see how it's 7 in Minneapolis, yet it's in the 20s down here. Well, that system is actually covering most of the eastern half of the country. It sort of gave us a little bit of that cold north wind, but even that will be ending over the next couple of days. So the low that triggered the rain is going away. The frontal system sort of falls apart south of us. And then over the next couple of days, high pressure is going to build in, just enough to squeeze out the moisture and take out some of the cloud cover and give us a little bit of sun. But it's not over with just yet. You see that over there? Over the weekend, big storms coming through the southwest. And we're talking, Southern California, New Mexico, Arizona. That will affect us next week. The question is how much rain we will get. We don't really know. The computers are not conclusive right about now, but we know the front's going to make it. So sprinkles for the rest of the afternoon. Tomorrow it's all gone. We'll get up to 58 and then 63 on Saturday. That's your 7-day forecast. Mike, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Matt.